Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian warned on Sunday that any attack on Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei would be considered a declaration of all-out war against the Iranian nation, following a sharp exchange of rhetoric with U.S. President Donald Trump. Pezeshkian's comments, posted on social media platform X, come amid heightened tensions after Trump told Politico on Saturday that it was time to look for new leadership in Iran. Any attack on our great leader will be tantamount to an all-out war against the Iranian nation, Pezeshkian wrote. The Iranian president also blamed Washington for the country's economic woes, citing long-standing hostility and inhumane sanctions imposed by the United States and its allies as the primary drivers of hardship for the Iranian people.
We consider the US president guilty both for the casualties, for the damage, and for the slander he made against the Iranian nation. The nature of the sedition, this sedition was American, it was clear. Worse than domestic criminals are the international criminals. We will not leave them alone either. It must be pursued in its own ways and in the right way, and by the grace of God, the Iranian nation must defeat the seditionist just as it defeated the sedition.
Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei blamed U.S. President Donald Trump for weeks of anti-government protests in Iran, which killed over 3,000 people. The protests began on December 28th over economic hardship and escalated into calls to end the clerical rule of Khamenei. He accused the U.S. and Israel of orchestrating the unrest and causing widespread damage and deaths. He added that they had committed crimes and a grave slander. Adding to that, Khamenei also said Iran would avoid war, but would not let those responsible go unpunished.
In this sedition, these same ignorant and uninformed agents, led by those evil and trained assets, did bad things, committed great crimes, destroyed 250 mosques, destroyed more than 250 educational and scientific centers, destroyed the electricity industry, attacked banks, attacked medical complexes, attacked stores that provide food for the people, hurt the people, killed several thousand people, and killed some with inhuman severity, that is, completely, brutally. We consider the US president guilty both for the casualties, for the damage, and for the slander he made against the Iranian nation. The nature of the sedition, this sedition was American, it was clear. The Americans planned and acted. The aim of the Americans, and I am stating this clearly and unequivocally with 40-odd years of experience in the Islamic Republic, is to swallow Iran. In the past, when sedition like this occurred in the country, which we had numerous seditions. It was often the American press, second-rate politicians from America or European countries who interfered. This was a feature of this sedition that the US president himself intervened in the sedition, spoke, made comments, threatened, encouraged the seditionists, gave them a message from America to these people, who I will tell you later, who they were, that you go ahead, don't be afraid. He said, we'll support you, we'll provide military support. So that is, the US president himself entered the sedition and was part of the sedition. He said openly, he spoke openly, he encouraged openly. We have documents one after another that they helped, both the Americans and the Zionist regime helped, which I will briefly explain now. It became a historic day like 22nd Bahman, the anniversary of revolution. We are not leading the country to war, we do not intend to lead the country to war, but we will not leave the domestic criminals either. Worse than domestic criminals are the international criminals, we will not leave them alone either. It must be pursued in its own ways and in the right way, and by the grace of God, the Iranian nation must defeat the seditionist just as it defeated the sedition.
However, in an unusually softened tone toward Iran, Trump, on January 16th, thanked Iran for not carrying out what he said were planned executions of hundreds of political prisoners. He told reporters that Iran had canceled the hanging of over 800 people and said he respected the decision.
You urged protesters in Iran earlier this week to keep fighting in the streets and said that help was on the way. Is help still on the way, or has your bar
we're
for
going to see.
intervention
As you know, Iran canceled the hanging of over 800 people. They were going to hang over 800 people yesterday, and I greatly respect the fact that they canceled that.
Mr. President, did Arab and Israeli officials convince you to not strike Iran?
Nobody convinced me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
Trump also posted a thank you note to Iran on Truth Social, claiming the executions would not take place. President Trump's remarks followed days of warnings that the U.S. could take military action if Iran carried out mass killings during protests. As recently as a week ago, Trump threatened Iran with military strikes, saying the U.S. was weighing options to intervene to save protesters from a government crackdown.
On Iran, have they crossed your red line yet to trigger a response?
Well, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
Which options have you been briefed on? Are you meeting with senior officials?
Are you asking me to say what will they do, where will we attack, when, and at what angle will we attack from?
Are you considering? I'm with the U.S. White House TV pool. I'm wondering, are you being briefed on options? I'm with CNN, sir.
Why don't you just say I'm with CNN? She says I'm with the White House pool.
Yes.
And I say, what? You're with CNN. You're with fake news. Because CNN is fake news. Go ahead, give me a question.
Can I ask how you're balancing and how you're deciding your response, the balance between helping protesters versus hindering them? Because I imagine that's a delicate balance to strike.
I mean, some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, there's so many of them. And some were shot. We're getting a full report. I'm getting an hourly report, and we're going to make a determination.
Sir, the son of the disposed Shah, and some military leaders are encouraging you to take action in Iran. Is that a serious option? And
Some people have been shot, and we're looking at it.
Are you going to send Starlink to Iran, sir, to help the people in the ground with the internet blackout for more than 72 hours?
We're talking about that. We may get the internet going, if that's possible.
Are you talking to Musk
We
about
may speak to Elon, because as you know, he's very good at that kind of thing. He's got a very good company. So we may speak to Elon Musk. And in fact, I'm going to call him as soon as I'm finished with you.
Just quickly, Iran said that they would consider military and commercial bases as legitimate targets if you struck. Are you concerned about?
If they do that, we'll consider things targets that they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. And they won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong. So I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Do you think Iran takes your threats seriously?
I think so. Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out. Don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
Do you sense any willingness from Iran to engage diplomatically with you, or perhaps negotiate on nuclear program?
With Iran?
Yeah, do you think they want to engage diplomatically with you?
They do. They called
you? Is it still
yesterday.
an option? Is it still an option?
Iran called to negotiate.
Yesterday.
The leaders of Iran called, they want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States.
Are you sharing any details on that call?
Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. But a meeting is being set up Iran called, they want to negotiate.